Basketball is back for real this time, and the men are undefeated.
And the CSU women's team is undefeated in regulation.
Plus, volleyball is back on track after a couple of decisive wins. We've got all the highlights, analysis, and more coming up on CTV Sports.
You're watching CTV Sports!
Good evening and thanks for watching CTV Sports. I'm Patrick Enslow.
And I'm Travis Green. Basketball season has arrived. Heading into this season, transfers have been the talk of the town, and on Saturday, Ram fans' long-awaited debut of the 2014-2015 basketball team came to an emphatic end. Stanton Kidd and the Rams came out hot in this one, putting up 51 points in the first half. Kidd did not wait long to put down possibly the dunk of the year. Woo! That is no kid, Stanton, man. And of course, we have another view of this monstrous jam. Let's see that one in slow motion. It's too good not to.
Get up!
Man, Stanton has been hitting the old calf raises, Patty. Kid wasn't the only transfer making an impact. By way of Calgary, Puerto Rico, Gian Clavel was feeling it from beyond the three-point arc, and Teal Daniels doesn't like it when people goes into the lane. Montana outscored the Rams in the second half, but could not overcome the deficit, giving the Rams their first win of the season, 83-66.
I told these guys to be ready, and they were. We kind of let down a little bit. They came back in the game, but it makes it easier on all of us. And I think you guys knew that we had better talent coming in, and this kind of wasn't a surprise.
These transfers really showed up on Saturday, especially Stanton Kidd, Patrick.
Yeah, you are not joking around. Stanton, man, as you said. And it was 613 days since he played his last basketball game because he sat out last year. And, man, was he efficient out there, Travis. Taking a page out of Garrett Grayson's playbook, going 6 of 8 from the field. That's what I like to see. We didn't see much of that last season.
75% from the field, as you said, 6 for 8. 19 points in this one. A big man, athletic, but he has the shot. We saw out there shooting the 3-ball in this one. And as we saw, the monstrous dunk. He is a piece that CSU missed last year, an athletic guy they can give the ball to in a time where they're having trouble getting points and say, hey, go get us a bucket. And now they have that guy in Stanton Kidd.
Yeah, and it's great to see after that long layoff. And then Gian Clavel, he's still a little new to me as well. Yep. And he looked great, and they're shooting lights out, and that is just awesome to see. And the one thing is kind of concerning me is Daniel Bejarano. He does like to take a lot of shots. He was 5 of 13 in this one. So if they keep shooting lights out, how will they spread the ball down the season? And
Gian Clavel, we'll keep talking about him, was hitting the 3-ball in this one. He's that added sharpshooter that CSU didn't seem to have last year. They now have a guy to say, hey, go get us a 3-point bucket, because we saw against this Montana team, he was really shooting lights out. As you said with Bejarano, it's going to be interesting how that plays out. They had him working a little point guard in this one. I personally like Bejarano at the point. I think he's a playmaker. I think he's the type of guy that will go out there, find the open man, and make plays for this team.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting if they can get him to lower how many shots he takes and maybe find other players like Avila, because I think Avila can maybe take more shots inside, higher percentage shots, and he also got 7 rebounds in this game. So Avila having another great season. I think he's a silent player that you won't hear much of all season, but I think he will always do his job, and I love his consistency.
And the team moved the ball around great in this one. They really were hitting the open man. 22 assists on 27 baskets in this game. That tells me this team is really in sync with each other, and they believe in their teammates to get the basket. Last season, didn't see much of that from the CSU basketball team. It was kind of a 3-man show with Bejarano, Octius, and Avila. And this season, it seems like it's going to be an all-around team effort.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out down the season with such a new team, but so far it looks good. After starting the season with very high expectations and receiving votes for the AP Top 25, the Ladies Rams basketball team struggled Friday. After Hawaii came out to an 8-0 run, the Rams shot a dismal 28% from the field, while Hawaii shot 38%. One bright spot for the Lady Rams was redshirt junior Victoria Wells, who grabbed a career-high 16 boards. After going back and forth all game, Hawaii pulled away with 3:46 left in overtime to win 63-58. Tomorrow, the Rams continue their homestand against Colorado School of Mines at 7. What does this mean for the Rams' expectation down the season, Travis?
Well, just as with the men's team went out there and had a great game. this CSU women's basketball team got the loss. The other side, I think fans shouldn't overreact to either one of these teams. Yes, the women went out there and lost, but this team is a team that last year struggled at the start but really got going as the season went on, and I think you're going to see that happen this year. Eustace and Williams are great coaches, so I think it's not time to overreact on anything.
And we saw CSU women's basketball lose to Hawaii early last year as well. And man, can this Hawaii team rebound? I think that's what really helped them. And some big players on the women's side did not really show up. Nystrom with only 10 points. I mean, she had a big season. We're looking for her to build on that, and I'm sure she will down the road. I just think it was a bad shooting night and just really bad percentages from the field. And this is their third straight loss, so I think they'll pick it up. I think Ryan Williams will get the fire burning, and they'll really pick it up.
And just the first game of the season, I mean, players aren't totally in sync, and I think that is attributed to the beginning of the season because Grit Ryder went out there, didn't score as many points. Last season, she's one of the Rams' main go-to players. AJ Newton had a great game in this one, but I think you can just attribute to the fact it's early in the year. It's time not to overreact on anything. It's time for a quick break, but when we come back, we've got highlights of the volleyball team's wins last week.
And football doesn't even need to keep playing to keep climbing in the rankings, and you won't want to miss how giddy Mac is about this team.
The next 30 seconds can save you a lot of money. Just do your laundry in cold and stick to full loads. Auto-sleep your computers. Plug your gadgets in a power strip and switch it off when you're done. Headed out? Turn back your thermostat by 10 degrees. And drive sensibly. The more energy you save, the more money you save. Find other great tips at energysaver.gov.
Welcome back. You're watching CTV Sports. This Fort Collins weather has Toronto native Alexandra Paletto feeling right at home this weekend when CSU volleyball took on the New Mexico Lobos. Paletto led the way for the Rams with 6 blocks and 11 kills against the Lobos. This match included 5 ties and 2 lead changes. Besides dropping the second set, the Rams were able to pull away the third-place Lobos in 4 sets, holding one of the nation's best, Chantel Riddle, to just 8 kills. Riddle is ranked top 50 in kills, blocks, and points. The magic number is now 1 for the Rams, who look to clinch the Mountain West for the 6th straight season this Wednesday against San Jose State. Trav, the magic number is 1. This season is winding down. Yep. What are your thoughts?
Well, you said it. Their magic number is 1. They're about to clinch the Mountain West. As we expected this season, the team hit a rough patch the last couple weeks, having closer games, losing a game to UNLV. But it seems like they've gotten back on track, and I think this is the perfect time to get back on track because you're headed in the NCAA tournament, and this is a great time for Hilbert and crew to be clicking on all cylinders.
And you were playing a great Mountain West opponent in New Mexico, as I said, 3rd place, and it was Chantel Riddle, one of the best players in the nation, able to stop her. They did go 4 sets this time, but I'm not concerned because this New Mexico team is a very good opponent, and they keep climbing in the RPI. They're 12 in the RPI now, too. So they're definitely going the right direction towards the end of the season, and I hope they can host a regional.
And how about Riddle? We haven't heard much about her this season, and that's attributed to this team's depth. We keep hearing new names every week that steps up for this volleyball team, and I think that's going to be huge for them in the tournament to pull off some wins against those teams they haven't faced in a while.
Yeah, and I think you mean Paletto because Riddle plays for New Mexico, but hey, she'd be great to have on the squad as well.
Yeah, thanks for the correction. The CSU football team moved up to number 22 in the AP poll after its bye week Saturday. The Rams got a nice little break during the cold weather up to heal, and Coach Jim McElwain maybe spent a little too much time inside avoiding the snow because he was pretty giddy during his press conference earlier today.
Those guys running down the field, that is awesome. That's a good thing. I like people. You know, right? You know, no, he didn't. No. Yeah.
And Coach Mack, as cool as the other side of the pillow, Patrick, heading into a big week here. He's as loose as can be, and I think that really sets the tone for this football team. They're loose and ready to go out there and play football.
Yeah, and lots to smile about in Fort Collins after hearing Rashard Higgins is a finalist for the Blitnikoff Award and Garrett Grayson with the Heisman. So, I mean, there's just lots to smile about.
Absolutely, and there's been talk around town that Florida just fired Muschamp, And there's been talk all year heading up to this. McElwain is a guy from the SEC. He used to coach at Alabama, and there has been some rumors around that he might wind up leaving for Florida because that coaching position is open. But there's a huge buyout in McElwain's contract. Makes it a little rough for a team to go out there and spend a lot of money to bring in Coach Mack.
Yeah,
Do you think it's a possibility?
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility, but that buyout is very large. I think it's $7 million, upwards of that number. And also, if they get 10 wins, he has to get $2 million next season. So, I mean, lots built in there, and that's a big shout-out to Jack Graham. That is something he did before he left when he re-signed McElwain. He definitely made it difficult for McElwain to get our other teams to pay out. They're really going to need McElwain if they're going to want to put up that type of numbers.
I don't think fans should just think he's going to get up and go after the season has off to a hot start. He's admitted he loves Fort Collins. His family likes Fort Collins. So it'll be interesting to see how that one plays out.
Yeah, for sure. Coming up next on CTV Sports, Rachel Vigil brings an inside look at the CSU women's swimming and diving team.
Don't go away.
The next 30 seconds can save you a lot of money. Just do your laundry in cold and stick to full loads. Auto-sleep your computers. Plug your gadgets in a power strip and switch it off when you're done. Headed out? Turn back your thermostat by 10 degrees. And drive sensibly. The more energy you save, the more money you save. Find other great tips at energysaver.gov.
Sports reporter Rachel Vigil took a look into the CSU women's swimming and diving team this week.
Although the CSU's women's swimming and diving team is all about commitment and family bond to bring home those Ram wins, the ultimate goal is improvement and representing Colorado State.
Going into every meet, and there's 3 goals. Number 1, to prepare. Number 2, to compete. And number 3, no excuses. All about winning. It's not about the time. It's all about the play. It means you're competing for your college, for every single point.
The Rams are all about getting their hand on the wall first, but it's also about the family bond that truly brings these girls together.
I always have someone I can go to and something to do on the weekends. You know, these girls, I love them, and it's a really good group of girls. So.
And our winner of the 1,000-yard
All this hard work and commitment has paid off for the Rams, and it's all about taking a step in the right direction.
San Diego, which is a huge powerhouse in the Mountain West Conference. We closed the gap on them from last year, so we were really pumped about that. It wasn't a win, but it was definitely the right step in the right direction. It always feels good to beat somebody, and we got the Vandals, beat Idaho, so that felt good.
CSU will be competing in the Georgia Tech Invite at Georgia Tech Thursday through Saturday. Good luck, Rams.
CTV and Collegiate Central have been teaming up to feature some of the lesser-known players on the CSU football team. Here's a sneak peek at part 2 of PanoRAMic, which will go online tomorrow afternoon.
The game of football, any collegiate sport actually, it prepares you with skills that you can translate off the field, off the court, into the classrooms, time management, working well with others, just things that they look for in the job world that really excels your performance. So, I mean, it's difficult to adjust to, but once you get a good rhythm down and a good routine down, it's not that bad.
My high school is big on football, and coming out here in front of many more fans in a much bigger stadium it's always a rush, and it's basically kind of the demeanor that everybody has running out, like with the steam machines or whatever, the smoke machines, and everybody cheering and the band and everything out there. It's a pretty cool experience.
You know, it was hard coming out of high school. You know, I had originally, believed that that was going to be the plan, that I would be on the team, and to hear that there wasn't room and I'd have to wait till the spring was difficult. So it's discouraging, but you just you push through. I made some great friends, living in the dorms and stuff, and people I still keep in touch with. So I was able to get through it, but yeah, it was a difficult time.
You can check out the videos and stories in their entirety tomorrow afternoon on panoramic.collegian.com. And that's all the time we have for you tonight. Be sure to check out that PanoRAMic page when you're not too busy supporting your Ram athletics.
And go to the football game on Saturday for Pete's sake. The Rams are number 2 in the country, playing their last home game. Go support them, folks.
And of course, keep up with collegian.com for all the latest in CSU sports while you're relaxing over break.
Have a great night and have a very happy Thanksgiving.